Now let's just move on further and let's locate some of the points on the plane. So let's just see the question which says locate the points on the plane. So let us suppose we have this particular XY plane and we just wanted to locate all these points that are mentioned over here. That is the point B, a point S, the point L, as well as the point M. So let's just locate or let's just find out the coordinates of all these points. So let's just start with the point B. So first of all, we do know that the coordinates of the point B can be written in the formation of x, y, where x is called as the abscissa and y is called as nothing but the ordinate. X is nothing but called as the abscissa and y is nothing but called as the ordinate. So let's just talk about the abscissa first. So what is abscissa? Abscissa means a distance of the point from the y-axis, and always remember whenever we are talking about its distance from the x-axis, distance from the y-axis, then that distance is always perpendicular distance. Always remember whenever we are talking about the distance from the x-axis, the distance from the y-axis, then this distance is always perpendicular in nature. For an instance, if I'm talking about the distance of this point B from the y-axis, then this is nothing but a perpendicular distance. Similarly, this is nothing but a perpendicular distance. So whenever we are talking about the distance from the axes, then that distance is always perpendicular distance. So let's just talk about the abscissa first. So abscissa means its distance from the y-axis. So as we can see over here, from the y-axis, its distance is nothing but 3 units. Its distance is nothing but 3 units. So instead of just taking this distance is 3 units, let us suppose I am just taking this one, that at what point the B point is actually joining with the x-axis. So the B point is joining at the point 3 with the x-axis. So it means that its abscissa is 3 and its ordinate. So let's just see its ordinate. Its ordinate. So at the point 3 on the y-axis, it is joining with the point B. So as we can see, the point B is actually joining with the point 3 on the y-axis. It means its ordinate and its abscissa both are 3 and 3. So it means that the abscissa is nothing but 3 and the ordinate is nothing but 3. As you can see over here, its distance from the y-axis, its distance from the x-axis, both are nothing but 3 and 3. So the coordinates for the point B is nothing but 3, 3. Now let's just talk about the point M. As the point M is in the second coordinate, or we can say it is in the second quadrant, So what do we say about the second quadrant? Whenever any particular coordinate lies in the second quadrant, then its sign will be of the form, or we can say the signs of the coordinate will be of the form negative and positive. Why so? Because we can see over here there is a negative x-axis. This one is nothing but a negative x-axis. This is nothing but a positive y-axis. So the x coordinate always comes first. The x coordinate always comes first in this coordinate, and y always comes at the second place. So always remember whenever we are taking the coordinates, then x always comes first and then is the y. We never take y comma x. We always used to take x comma y. So x is negative, as we can see over here. The x-axis is negative over here. So x point will be negative and y will be positive. So let's just see over here. First of all, we can see that the point M is actually joining with -3 with the negative x-axis. It means that its abscissa is nothing but -3. Its abscissa is nothing but -3. And we can see over here that the point M is joining with the point 4 on the y-axis. It means its ordinate is nothing but 4. You can also see its distance from the x-axis, from the y-axis. As we can see, the distance from the y-axis is nothing but 3. But due to the sign conventions, as it is lying in the second quadrant, then the point 3 will be negative, because we do know that in the second quadrant, the points will be, or the signs of the abscissa and the ordinates will be negative and positive. So just because of this, we are taking it as -3, 4. Now let's just talk about the point L. The point L. Now we can see the point L is lying in the third quadrant, and if it is lying in the third quadrant, then we do know that the coordinate which always lies in the third quadrant, then the sign conventions will be like negative and negative, negative and negative, because it is lying in the third quadrant, So in the third quadrant, the abscissa and the ordinates will get negative and negative. So let's just talk about this particular point L. So as we can see over here, the point L, or this L, is actually joining with -5, which is lying on the x-axis. So it is joining with -5. So this will be -5. Further, the ordinate will be like L is joining with -4, that is lying on the negative of y-axis. So its ordinate will be nothing but -4. So as we can see over here, both of them have a negative sign. As just any point which is lying on the third quadrant, it will definitely have a negative and negative sign. So both of the points will have a negative sign. So the coordinate for the L point is nothing but -5, -4. So as we can see, L is joining with -5 on the x-axis, and it is joining with -4 on the y-axis. And similarly, let's just talk about the coordinates of S. So again, we do know that the signs of the quadrant fourth, will be like, let us suppose we are talking about the coordinates. So it will be positive and negative. Whenever any particular point is lying in the fourth quadrant, then its abscissa is always positive and its ordinate is always negative. So as we can see over here, we do have a positive x-axis. This one is a positive x-axis, and this one is a negative y-axis. So x will be positive, y will be negative. So in the same case, let's just see, S is joining with the number 4. And 4 is nothing but positive. Similarly, S is joining with the number -4. With the number -4 on the negative y-axis, so it is a -4. So hence the coordinates of the point S is nothing but 4, -4. So this is all about locating the points on the plane. So always remember all these quadrants signs, because these will definitely help us to locate the point on the number line. And always remember what is abscissa and what is ordinate, and always remember that whenever we are taking the coordinates, then x always comes first, and then y comes. We cannot take y comma x, we always used to take x comma y. So always remember the coordinates are of the form x comma y, where x is called as the abscissa. Abscissa is all about the perpendicular distance of a point from the y-axis. Perpendicular distance. Always remember, whenever I am talking about a distance, then distance is always perpendicular in nature. So I hope plotting of these points or locating the location of these points on the plane is all clear to you.